So, have you always been interested in quizzing, Mark?
Yeah, I'm blessed with a couple of academic gifts. Obviously, I'm quite good with numbers. I've got a really good memory and I'm interested in things. And I've got what I call a sticky memory, which is one of these gifts that some people have. And you can just walk along through the world and you clock an advert and you'll be able to remember what it was for and when and sort of drag it back. It's a really good high functioning memory. When I was a school kid, people used to revise and I said, why do you do that? And people thought I was taking the proverbial when actually I wasn't. I genuinely meant it. I don't need to. I remembered it the first time and still do. It made school very easy. God, I'm popular.
There was always that kid who said I didn't revise and did really well in their exams. And I always assumed they were lying, but that was you.
Well, I've got a master's degree from Oxford in maths to prove, yeah, it was me. I did maybe 1 hour's math homework in 7 years.
Wow. You are the son my dad wanted. But instead, he got lumbered with me. So how did you go from Butlins holiday camp to becoming a chaser on the chase?
Cool, you've done your homework. Well done.
He always does.
Well, what happened was I started finding about the tail end of my time at Oxford, I was really good at Trivial Pursuit. And even though I was academically not nearly as good as others, they wouldn't play me unless it was 3 or 4 handed on Trivial Pursuit. I went to Butlins sort of like gap year to do some work, and I soon found the quiz machines there were my personal piggy banks. I used to start the week with 3 or 4 quid and end it with 200. And of course, that's tax-free as well. Doesn't sound too much, but back in the mid and late 80s, that wasn't a bad little tax-free earnings to get. And from then on, I just realized I'm quite good at quizzes.
Do you spend a lot of time in doing pub quizzes and stuff? Because I'm sure you were at the Sherwood one night, or I got told that you were at the Sherwood when I was there in the other side.
That sounds, I think I've been there. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much as I used to be because it's the job you do. I mean, it varies. Some places it's like you're not letting him in here. Others are like, oh, great. Well, effectively, it's a free appearance by a minor celeb. So generally the first thing as I say now is, look, I'm here for fun and or practice. I am not allowed to win. You know, which means if I don't win, I've covered my arse.
Yeah,
there are certain things I'm not going to be quite so good at, but I'm, reasonable.
Yeah, you let them win, don't you? When you don't win, you let them win.
No, I don't. I promise you that. I can pretty much say, certainly on telly, I know there's conspiracy theorists out there. I don't think I've ever let anybody have a question, let alone a game, certainly on the chase. A couple of times when I've been roped in to do these, bits on other shows, then it's a lot more knockabout because it's for a bit of fun. But when I'm playing the chase, I can guarantee you if my beloved nephews and nieces were playing me, I'd be playing to beat them.
Quite right. What about the celebrity games?
Oh, I want to beat them so badly. It's not true because they don't realise that we, for obvious reasons, don't want them to look bad. So we do tend to sort of get a feel for what kind of questions they'd like to be asked. And we theme the questions to give them a hand, which is great. But then some of them get the impression they think they're actually any good. And you're like, okay, I don't mind you looking good, but not if it's the strength of me looking bad. And again, you see, look, my thing I bring to the show more than any of the others, Bradley said it himself, who's the most competitive chaser? Mark, bar none. And I take that as a great compliment. I want you guys to do well, but I'm still going to absolutely try my hardest to beat you.
Well, yeah, fair enough. And talking about celebrities, you've certainly become one in the last however many years the chase has been on. How's your life changed?
Well, 12 years ago, I was a jobbing supply maths teacher. I was about 29 stone. And I remember listening to the Duffy song, Mercy, which she said was all about sex. And I was genuinely thinking, am I ever going to have sex again? Let's just say life's changed. Married with a kid, gone to America, had a 40-foot high billboard of me in Times Square because I had name dropping here. Carol Vorderman actually sent me a message saying, do you know you're in Times Square right now? I think it's the only time she's been jealous of my career. and the best thing is I've got it because I'm a specialist. There's virtually nobody else who can do my job in the world. We're a really, this is why the similarities in football are here, because other shows, I'll mention Eggheads, for example, they're brilliant, but because they've got some brilliant players and it's a team game, they could have some idiots on the lineup, the producer's girlfriend or whatever, and it wouldn't matter because they're covered. We have to be good all-rounders, and they must have interviewed well over 1,000 people. And so many fail the test for various reasons, not least one of the most common one is they say, oh, I don't do sport, or I don't do pop music after a certain era, to which point we politely say, well, there's the door, because with our job, you have to.
And on the Eggheads, they have time to think about these questions. You don't. Obviously, you're against the clock.
Well, again, that's one thing. You've got some really good top-grade quizzes who need a second or two to think of the answer. On this show, you're dead.
Yeah.
And we've just done Beat the Chasers, and astute viewers may notice that because of the speed element, Paul, Jenny, and me get well over 90% of the answers. It's not because we know more than the other three; we're just quicker. And they're just sitting there going, "Are you guys going to let us play sometime?" We can't help it. It's just, it's first come, first served, and it's who's got the best reactions.
As it should be, yeah.